So we've gotten to the act in our play where I completely gave up trying to salvage these houses in Granite Falls. But this is evidence, okay? This is evidence that I tried. I tried so hard, and in the words of Lincoln Park, got so far, but in the end it didn't even matter and I bulldozed it. Welcome if you're just joining. This is a series where I'm going through and redoing Granite Falls with a maximalist aesthetic, which has been pretty difficult because I'm limiting myself to only using base game and outdoor retreat items. I had initially wanted to do what I usually do, which is keeping the shells that already existed and more redecorating them than rebuilding them. But once I got several lots in, I just realized I hated everything that I had already done and I needed to start over. So I bulldozed everything and here we are. The original house on this lot was basically just a big wooden square. It was 2 stories. I think that they were going for maybe luxury mountain vibes, or maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but that's what I was going for. I found this gorgeous luxury log cabin style up in the mountains mansion absolutely humongous. And I'd never built anything this large as a residential lot before, so I wanted to try it. I regretted it about 3 hours in, and by like hour 6, I knew I was never going to do this again. I'm also terrible at terraforming in The Sims. Like, I'm glad I tried it, but it's so difficult to get it to look good because you end up with these jagged edges and stuff like here. All told, this is a 3-story house. The entryway opens up onto the 2nd floor, which is mostly the living space and kitchen, that kind of thing. Though there is, I think, 1 bedroom. And then on the 1st floor, that opens up into the back of the house, closer to the lake. There's a large patio, and there are a couple of bedrooms downstairs, as well as a lot of the recreation like fitness and a bar and card tables, that kind of thing. Now, this is the, quote, 3rd story, end quote. It's really just kind of an addition onto the top. In the floor plan, it was supposed to be another bedroom, but honestly, this house did not need more bedrooms as far as I was concerned, so I ended up making it into a library, which I was really happy with. I love the idea of having a library in a tower at the very top of the house that you can go to and just sit by yourself and read. Only sad thing is it doesn't look out onto the lake, it just kind of looks out into the park. Obviously, I was just using the floor plans as inspiration for the build, and as always, the inspiration is linked below if you want to take a look at it. But here and there, I did make some changes. This outdoor patio that kind of acts like a tower topper on the corner of the house, this is the result of not being able to figure out how to make the roof situation on this side of the house work. I tried so many different combinations of roofs over there, and it all looked bad. I'm not great at roofing to begin with, but this was especially heinous, and I just decided to completely avoid the situation and make it into something else. I touched on this briefly, I think, in a previous video, but just to reiterate, if there was a version of something in the outdoor retreat pack that I could use, I used that instead of using anything from the base game. So for instance, the wood walls that you see here are from this expansion. At one point, I was putting in showers and then realized that, oh right, there's a wood shower in this pack. So I went back in and added all wood showers. Does it make sense in a luxury cabin? Not necessarily, but these were my arbitrary rules and I was going to arbitrarily follow them. This bathroom is a great example of me continuing to fight the good fight of making platforms work for me in The Sims 4. I feel like I see people use them effectively all the time, and I just can't get the hang of them for some reason. They're always doing wonky things, or making the lines of the room weird, or making their own room within a room. Anybody else have this issue? I cannot figure them out. This was also one of my favorite areas in this build because it's a massive walk-in bathroom with a bathtub in front of a window also a little ensuite separated toilet area and a walk-in closet. I think the bedroom and bathroom on the second floor are definitely meant to be the primary suite, but I also feel like if you filled this house up to capacity, it would be loud anywhere you were at in this house. So there's not really a good secluded place to put a bedroom. Like, this bedroom is right off of the main living area, which is open concept, and you know, with kids and the TV on, it would be loud. Kind of like the last build, the fishing cabin, I made sure that I had enough stuff in this particular build for all ages. So there are bedrooms for infants and toddlers. There's also one with a bunch of bunk beds for kids. And there's a playroom upstairs, as well as some other child-focused items all around the house. If you go take a look at the site with the blueprints, there's also a lot of pictures of the inside of the house. I didn't really take inspiration from that. It's definitely not my vibe. Something about it made it feel very 90s grandmother to me, but those pictures definitely tell a story about who was probably living in this house. And I'll be real, I don't know who lives in mine, but it's definitely a very different person. My build definitely turned out a bit more modern, which was kind of a consistent issue I kept coming across. I wasn't sure how to marry log cabin chic with maximalist, and I'll try to explain. So with maximalism, a lot of the time what you're trying to do is use a lot of different textures, a lot of different colors, a lot of different patterns. Things that would normally conflict, you're putting together and making it into a cohesive whole. That's kind of my take on maximalism anyway. It also tends to be very in your face. Not always. There is a very beige aesthetic maximalism that you can do. But for me, I like loud patterns, loud colors, and preferably cheetah statues everywhere. And tigers on wallpaper. I love a tiger on a wallpaper. So when you combine the fact that there aren't a lot of loud patterns on the outdoor retreat items, or even interesting colors most of the time, it just ended up being pretty limiting. Also, Google log cabin maximalism. It's just log cabins. Like, they're just log cabins, y'all. Really nice log cabins, but there's nothing very interesting about them, I suppose. And the point that I'm getting to is that's why all these crazy floors kept happening. There's another one downstairs that I don't think I filmed, because around this point, we're definitely approaching the 6-hour mark, which is why I do speed builds, because nobody wants to sit there and watch that. Not even me. I didn't even want to be living it, honestly. This was such a painful build. Oh, there it is. That's the floor I did downstairs. Honestly, I think I ended up liking that one a bit better, and I kind of want to use it again. It was more of a ribbon pattern, so it went over and under itself in a lot of places. I was also happy to finally have an excuse to use this flooring that kind of clicks together. It's like those rubber mats in gyms. That's why I used it in the exercise area. Also, this floor plan had a lot of rooms to be used for storage. And honestly, if it's a rental cabin, that would probably make more sense to me. But as a Sims house, storage is just an empty room, so I only did one of them. But wow, is there a lot of clutter in here. This is also where the entrance to the upstairs library is, kind of in the back of this pantry, right off the kitchen. And you know what? Speaking of which, let's just get into the walkthrough. Of course, first thing when I sign in, I get a pop-up about Darnell, who has apparently made a friend. Isn't this the evil mermaid from Sulani? Apparently, the evil mermaid saw his sad post on Social Bunny and is asking if Darnell needs to talk. I mean, first of all, Darnell, when did you post to Social Bunny? I must have missed that. Also, how do you know the evil mermaid from Sulani? Ugh. Yeah, you know what? You could really use someone to talk to. That'll at least keep you busy for a little while. Darnell, I feel like I might need to remind you that you're just a random sim that happened to be created when I made the save to build all of these houses. You're over here trying to live a life, and that is not in the cards for you, I'm afraid, my friend. Anyway, oh, apparently I left some books on the floor. I'll just put these on the bookshelf in here. As usual with all of these builds, they have all of the books that came with this pack. They should have all of the fish, and I think this one has all of the herbalism potions as well. Y'all, this property is so big. I'm never making a house this big again. Not worth it. How do people build on 60 by 60 lots? And then we come over to the back, and honestly, the view is kind of beautiful. Just looking right out at the lake like this, just Overall, a very lovely world with reshade on anyway. Let's see what it looks like without reshade. There it is without, this sad, desolate area, and then there it is with. Much better. Darnell, where are you going? You're going to... Weren't you making a salad? Why are you eating a sandwich now? So let's go back to the entrance and we'll start here.
Nope.
Work for Darnell starts in about an hour. Yeah, I gave him back his job from last time. I felt bad that he got fired. All right, here's the front. So it's got its little cabin sign down here, and you come up and the camera goes crazy, but you come up, there's a whole bunch of debug objects trying to cover up the monstrosity it is that this terraforming hill is. I really need to learn how to terraform. If this build has taught me anything, it's that I have no clue what I'm doing. So we have the entryway right at the front with Darnell coming out the door, because of course you are by Darnell, and we walk into the main living area, which has rain coming into it. Yeah, I heard that this was a bug after the most recent patch. You know what? Let's change the weather. All right, finally, the rain has stopped. So we've got the living room in here. Over to the side, we've got a little platform with a dining table. But I love these windows that look out of the kitchen and onto the dining table. And then over here, we've got a random piano because I stopped being able to figure out things to fill the space, and includes the stuffy that I made sure was in every build. Here is the kitchen, and we found Darnell's salad. This is a really big kitchen, has a little breakfast nook at the end, and a really weird shaped bar in the middle. These bar pieces are so fun to play with. It's almost kind of like a fancy U. Very cute. Then over to the side of the kitchen is the storage area, which also includes a fire alarm, which I tend to forget to put in my builds, but thankfully remembered for this one. And then over here, we've got a stairway that looks like it goes into nothing, but actually comes up into the library, complete with a fireplace and lots of bookshelves. Daryl, why are you... Oh, you're starting to burn out now? I cannot. Anyway, so we've got a lovely little library which looks out over the park area. It does look a little weird from the front. This is supposed to be a carport, but I didn't really want to put that in because cars don't exist in The Sims 4. But I still like how it turned out. It's almost like this house has been worked on over the years with lots of additions being made. If we go back in over beside the piano, there is a bathroom that nobody cares about. Back behind the stairwell, there is a playroom for the kids. So you can put them in here and then lock the door and not have to worry about them anymore, which is what I do with most of my kids in The Sims. And if we come back out to the living room, over to the side, we have another little reading area, kind of more in the public. Oh, is that a peacock on this shelf? Huh, I have never noticed what is in that frame before. Oh, hey, Darnell. Hi, are you... Okay. You could have chosen anywhere in this house to nap. Anyway, behind him is a little study area. We're going to ignore that sound. So we've got a computer and a little chess table. Across from that is that massive bathroom with the platform. It's got a his and hers over to the side. Did you just walk in here? I cannot with you, Darnell. And the sad music. Anyway, we've got a his and hers sink. We've got a log shower that looks like it was literally built into the wall. Thank you for leaving the toilet, Darnell. We have a tiny little place for a toilet, and then we've got a walk-in closet, which again, I really like these large bathroom areas where everything's kind of in its own section. You keep going down to the end of the hall, that is where you'll find the master bedroom. It's nothing too fancy. I was treating it like it was... Did he just buy food again? I was treating this property like it was more of a vacation rental, so I have these little suitcases in most of the rooms. But then if you walk outside, this room also has its own little private balcony, which leads you up to the... And I'm just now realizing that apparently I forgot to decorate this. Oops. We are back with a fully furnished patio now. I think I was just so ready to be done with this build that I completely forgot to come back up here. So yeah, we've got a little fire pit area looking out on the forest, a little playing table and a bar. So a nice little entertaining area. So that covers the third and the second floor. So we can go back down to the main living area and follow the stairs down onto the ground floor, where you can immediately see the incredibly obnoxious flooring. I'm telling you, I I think this build just genuinely drove me insane after a certain amount of time. But we've got a little singing area with the guitar that came with this pack. So you could have a little mini concert down here. There's a study area for the kids, a little card table, one of those 3D video game things, and a cute little bar to the side. And then over to the left, there is an exercise room with plenty of exercise equipment for however many people you have in this house. And back behind there is just a little shower and locker room where you can store some stuff. There's also a little mini fridge for some energy drinks if you don't feel like going all the way upstairs for food. And then off to the side of that room is a little bunk bed area. I figured this would be good for the kids, having them all in the same room. So I've got some of the kids' toys, and of course the little bear gnome that I have in all of the builds. They have a bathroom in here that nobody cares about. Okay, bye. Coming out of there and crossing over to the other side, we've got another of the little bear stuffies. And I think these are all of the herbalism potions. There might be one or two that have gone to other places in the building, but this is the majority of them. And then we've got a little bathroom situation. And then we've got this door over here that leads to an ominously empty room because I just kind of ran out of ideas of what to do with these rooms. I was thinking it would be great for a sauna, but obviously I can't use the spa day pack in this build. At some point, I want to come back through to all of these builds when I've had some time away from them to make some improvements, and I may end up putting a sauna there then. But if we go back down the hallway, we've got a place for you to store your infant and toddlers, complete with a toilet and the little blocks to get their skills up. Across from there, it's a lovely yellow bedroom that looks out onto our lush backyard, and all of the bedrooms downstairs have their own en-suites. Oh gosh, what is he getting up to now? Then if we come back and go directly to the end of the corridor, we've got one more bedroom that also has its own ensuite, which is extremely boring by. And it also has its own little outdoor patio with some seating so you can sit out here and look at not a whole lot, I'm gonna be honest, but I think this would be a cool place to come out and be alone if you ended up with a whole bunch of Sims in this house. I keep hearing pop-ups from Darnell. What is he doing? Okay, but we're on the patio now. Look how gorgeous this view is. Ugh, wouldn't you love to live here? And it looks like I might have not finished decorating these patios either. Maybe I was going to come back and do those, and my brain deleted that information as a survival tactic to keep me away from coming back to this place again. Okay, 2 decorated patios later are back. I just added a little sitting area here. There's an easel up here and a woodworking bench along with the ever dangerous telescope. And then downstairs we've got a grill and Darnell. How does this happen to you 2 times in a row? I don't think you're supposed to have this job. I apologize. That's just my opinion, but I don't think you have what it takes to be a mascot because you keep getting yourself into these situations. I know I gave you back your job, but I think we need to find something different for you. I know, it's so sad. And you only earn $9 from work. You know what, Darnell? I'm going to do something for you. Where are you? Here you are. What a dejected looking llama. I'll use the life decider on you to, give you a new career. And we made you a babysitter. I don't know that that's better, but at least you're not going to be walking around in a llama costume anymore. Back to the patio. We've got a lovely grill down here, another eating area, and then another easel, as well as some picnic benches and a lovely little hot tub area. Then over here on this side, there's a gazebo with a fire pit with some of those stone chairs that I have found so difficult to use. And then of course, we've got the horseshoes game and a little jungle gym set for, oh my God, I knew it. I looked down and saw that he was making mac and cheese and I knew it. I knew you were going to do this. Darnell, you're burning down my house during the house tour. And no, you are not running away from it. You are extinguishing the fire that you caused. You don't get to panic. I cannot believe this. Now you get to clean up. Meanwhile, he still has this stinky salad out here. Ugh. He is not coming up here to cook something again. He did. He just went and he put it on the floor. All right, I need to get out of this house and replace these. You brought in $9 today, Darnell. That didn't even kind of cover the damage that you've done. I'm pausing it before he can do anything worse. But there you have it, this massive luxury cabin, question mark. This thing literally did take so long. So long, I apparently forgot to even decorate the outdoor patios. Oh my gosh, he also burned up the flower I had here. I'm pausing because you have to clean that up too, Darnell. But you can see the final lot right across from us, and it looks quite chaotic, doesn't it? So come back next time for the final lot and to find out if Darnell will even make it over there with us. Oh my gosh. Darnell!